live, is what we're doing today. Well, let me just give you a little bit of an update. It is cold outside, very cold outside. Not very cold, but cold outside. Excuse me. So it is down in the 40s. It's been very windy. We were supposed to get a major winter blast. Oh, my dog Lily needs a belly rub. Hang on before we get busy. Okay, here's Lily. Lily need a belly rub? Lily want a belly rub? All right. We'll get you a belly rub. That's why we can get the live stream started in a minute. Everybody say hello to Lily. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe. We're going to wait for a few people to get in here, then we'll get busy on our topic tonight. But for the next couple of seconds, we'll just pet good old Lily. Good old Lily, there's her bad foot. I need to trim her nails. Try to do that tomorrow. Okay, Lily, you stay there. Right, so I'm back. Thank you for liking my Lily dog. Let's get in here and get set up. Thank you all for watching this on the replay. I know there are some of you guys that are going to do that, which is greatly appreciated. Sorry, I'm rearranging my office, my home studio. Whatever it is you want to call this place, I'm trying to rearrange it. I don't know if it's working or not for me yet, but working on it. Working on it. Trying to make it look, trying to make it function better. I got some things I want to do, so I'm trying to function it better. That's what we're after. Oh. I'm making myself a couple notes as we sit and chat. Remember, you guys are welcome to ask questions. And if you're blue, you can drop your link anytime you like. I have no problem with that. I like to make a lot of notes. And so when I think of something, I like to write it down so we can talk about it when it comes up. We got a bunch of people in the background. You guys don't be shy. Please feel forward to come forward. I got plenty to drink tonight. Got me a couple of my Lipton brisk iced teas here. I've been, sorry, I got a cable tied up in here. I am sensitive, Dennis says, oh shit, that's backwards, Dennis. You are sensitive? All right, that's good. I guess you probably know what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about drama. Saying where people haven't been saving their drama for their mamas, I guess. We turn that on. I need to buy a new tripod. I busted my tripod at the Christmas party or the baby shower. So I had to get it. I got to get another one ordered. I just haven't done it yet. Good to see you and thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. We got like 2,000 people watching. Don't be shy. Come forward. Spill the beans. We'll get into spilling the beans here soon. But I was on my way home because we had a cell phone outage in America today. I don't know if anybody else has been affected by this. But we, nationwide, all the carriers had an outage. Sporadic outage, kind of weird. So all the different carriers, but not all the people, which is really kind of weird, right? Jimmy's in the house.
Which is really kind of weird, right?
Good to see you, Jimmy. Thank you for being there. Hello, hello, hello. We got some beans to spill, some topics to talk about. So you guys, thank you for the thumbs up. Don't be shy. Don't be shy in the background. But yeah, we had a cell phone outage in America. So my cell phone wasn't working. It switched over to satellite and SOS, and I couldn't get anything done. Lorelai's phone worked just fine. So I thought maybe my phone is bad. So I went up to the phone store and said, hey, and they said, hey, the cell people are not announcing this, but apparently there's a nationwide outage. So every service provider, because all the towers are the same, right? If you didn't know this, the cell phones they all use the same damn towers. So apparently not everybody was affected, but a lot of people were affected, and it was just kind of a random thing, which is kind of weird. Then it's saying hello to you, Jimmy John. Jimmy John in the house. I thought about having Jimmy John today. I had to take Lorelai to the dentist for a tooth cleaning, and she thought it was going to be a half hour. So she didn't want me to leave and go home and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so I went and got us some lunch, and I thought about Jimmy John's today. Not you, Jimmy, but Jimmy John's. So, Cryogen, can I get a big thumbs up for federal law enforcement? Sure, I like federal law enforcement. I like law enforcement in general, as long as they're following the law. When they break the law, abuse the law, or bully the law, I don't like them. But for the most part, I'm very appreciative of law enforcement as long as they work within their boundaries. So for me, you're going to find, and thank you for being here, and thank you for the thumbs up, that I'm not just a yes, no. I go into depth, in detail, and I think about things, and I have a lot to say about a lot of things. And I'm not shy about it. Wong says, I got superpowers. Well, I'm happy for you. That's great news. Yes, Jimmy, there was a lot of stuff going on at the White House today. Where's my Kleenex? I saw some of that about the oil. I saw some of it about Greenland. Sorry there. It's cold out, so not my allergies, but I don't know what you call it when the cold weather does all of this and messes all this up. So Jimmy, what did you find happening with the White House today? What did you find interesting? So thank you all for being here, by the way. We knew what was going to happen in Venezuela. We knew that there's going to be a movement towards that in the oil industry. We know Greenland's on the table. We're not going to buy Greenland. We're not going to own Greenland. All he's doing, I believe, is maneuvering to have way more control over Greenland than we currently do. Larry, we don't appreciate the title of your handle there, Larry the Bomber. I think that's offensive. And so no. And if you want to stick around, change your name to just Larry or something. But Larry the Bomber is just stupid, okay? Jimmy, I don't pay too much attention. I just saw a lot of YouTube videos thrown it at me. Yeah, well, I pay a lot of attention, but, it's kind of like, I do pay attention, and I'm paying a whole lot of attention about what's going on in the Philippines right now, and hence tonight's live stream about, what will you do as a YouTuber for clicks and views, and we are referencing what's happening in the Philippines. So I pay a lot of attention, but then again, it's the same shit, different day, right, Jimmy? We're talking about Greenland. We're going to talk about Greenland for quite a while. Venezuela, we're going to talk about that. Cuba's coming up. So, and a lot of it's misdestruction. A lot of it is just throwing a bunch of dirt up in the wind. And a lot of it is Trump pissing people off and making people upset over here so that he gets what he wants in the end. And that's what he's doing in Greenland. They're quietly saying, Greenland, if you don't do what we want, we will either buy you or we will take you over. So which would you prefer? To work with us and to give us everything we want, or for us just to take it? And of course, Greenland's going to go, man, we have such a great partnership with the United States, blah, blah, blah. In a couple of weeks, it's all going to be, in a couple of weeks, it's all going to be green. So, but I don't know. But I was driving back. So, thinking of that today. Went off track there, got confused. So anyway, I had to go to the cell phone store. Get there, they tell me what's going on. I'm like, all right, well, nothing I can do but go home and get on the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi works. And so as I was coming home, I heard the Meatloaf song playing on the radio because I really like Meatloaf, the food and the band, the music, the musician. And it's like, I won't do that. Remember the song, I won't do that? I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Well, that's kind of tonight's theme about the Philippines, about YouTubing, about expats, about exploitation of countries and people. I got a lot on my brain, man. I mean, I sit here and think, I'm very proud of the Philippines in a lot of ways. And I look at them and go, why in the hell can't America be like the Philippines? You don't have anybody, and we're going to get into some of this, but you don't have anybody rioting in the streets telling them don't deport, what's that guy's name? Pro-life guy, whatever the hell his name is. Don't deport him. You don't have anybody in the streets yelling and screaming, no, don't deport the illegals. Only in America do you have idiots protesting and supporting of illegal people. There's not another freaking country in the world that does it like we do. Japan has a big thing right now where they are not they want tourism, but they're limiting tourism, visas, locations tourists can go, and they don't want expats from any country living in Japan because they don't want outsiders negatively influencing the Japanese culture. I've been reading a lot about that lately. So I find that quite interesting. How Japan is going, we don't want you screwing with our culture, so don't bring your bullshit to Japan. Very interesting in a lot of that. So, all of you wonderful people watching, I did check my lottery ticket today and I did not win, so I'm not happy about that. I don't know. I don't know what I got to do. I'm still e-begging for $5 million. That hasn't happened. Winning the lottery hasn't happened. I just don't know. I broke my tripod at the baby shower party the other day, so now I got to get a new tripod. That's the second tripod I broke. I have a tendency to break things that are made out of plastic, cheap Chinese plastic crap. So, Jimmy says there's lots and lots of fed up shit, correct. To Big Don, he is doing it. Yeah, well, yeah. And I totally agree. But I watched a whole lot of stuff about them deporting the pro-life guy, the internet turd. So, and we're going to talk in detail about that and about the blacklist in the Philippines and also what makes you an undesirable. I've done some research on that stuff today. And it is, but I watch a lot of that videos today and I'm just sitting there going, what is wrong with the United, and we're getting off track a tiny bit. But I just don't understand what the hell's wrong with the people, not the United States, but the crazy ass people that don't know what see, I can't. Here's another problem I have, and you guys can laugh at me for this. I'm okay with it. I have a hard time pronouncing gender. I keep forgetting to put the D in gender. I don't know why, but since my coma, my squishy brain leaves shit out of words. It just does. But for the people that don't know what their gender is, to be bitching and complaining about illegals blows my mind. I don't know. I don't get it. But if you haven't known what's going on in the Philippines, is another YouTuber, another blogger, who pretty much thought, I guess, he would and could do anything that he wanted for his YouTube channel. And I guess he has a pretty successful YouTube channel. I didn't even check to see how many subscribers he has. Because I've never watched him until he got arrested. I never watched him, never followed him. What's the guy's name again? I got to pull it up. And he's getting rich off all of us talking about him. He has 100,000 subscribers, 3,000 less. Is it PH? Let me get it back over here, Jimmy, so I can read the comment easier. Is the PH one of the most friendly and tolerant places in the world? And he wants to continue to push the envelope. Dumb shit. Yeah. It really is. You know, the Philippines is one of the easiest places to get along and go along. Without question. Most people are not going to bother you. You can even be a little goofy. Nobody's going to bother you. You know, but you're right. He pushed the button way too many times. And I will say this about some of that, everybody. The pro-life guy, Tim K, that Russian guy, you know, Elliot Eastman, who got himself killed in the Philippines. And you guys in the background, don't be shy tonight. Come forward and leave us a comment and chime in and give me your thoughts. Because I may be way off base on this. But they did everything for content. And Tim K walked away with a shitload of money. He's back in America. You know, he's got a couple of kids now. So he was smart enough to use and abuse the Philippines, make a big channel, make a shitload of money, and then get out. I do think maybe Tim K was the catalyst for a lot of this shit being called out earlier now. So instead of waiting and waiting and waiting, the government and people are acting sooner and sooner and sooner. Kuya Ian's in the house. They get addicted to the shit they do. They do. I believe that. And I will tell you this, Ian, everybody, basic psychology is, look, if I get away with something, you know, then it empowers me to do it again. It's like when my wife's not home, I can drink all the soda I want. So it empowers me to do that when she's not home, right? If I'm robbing banks, stealing candy from children, and I get away with it over and over and over again, I almost become entitled to be able to rob those banks or steal candy. That's the psychology behind it. If somebody doesn't smack our hand, now I will say this. They see it, attracts attention. It's like playing a one-armed bandit. It is. Ken's in the house. Good evening. Good to see you, Ken. Good evening, morning to everybody. Now, what the problem is, I was going to say, children, until they learn not to do something, will continue to do it. The problem with adults is he's had plenty of warnings. Tim K had warnings after warnings after warnings. You know, Elliot Eastman, warning after warning. The Russian kid, Vladimir, whatever the hell his name is, warning after warning after warning. Way back in the day, 20 years ago, when I was starting to watch YouTube videos about the Philippines, there was some other asswipe out there doing the same shit. He got beat up a few times. Warning after warning. But adults don't take the hint. Ken's in the house, Jimmy. Soda, huh? One day Lorelai would come home and find you in the hot tub with 5 chicks. Hot tub isn't big enough, Jimmy. Hot tub's not big enough, buddy. So, money's addictive, power's addictive, and I will say, because I am somebody who's been a public speaker all my life. I have. Now, I'm old now. My brain is squishy from the coma that I was in, so I get it. I'm not who I used to be. But I used to get high, so to speak, off of being a public speaker. Standing in front of a large crowd is powerful. It makes you feel powerful. The problem with all these cases is that YouTube did nothing about it Most of the content was against the community guidelines. Craig's in the house. Good to ya. Craig says, fits with the title. All of the views. That's right, baby. Got a clickbait. Well, but Ian, I'm going to ask this. And granted, maybe YouTube is selective because they're making money off of enforcement of community guidelines. That's probably true. But is it really YouTube's place to police us? That's the question. Is it YouTube's fault or our fault? Craig, how are you, by the way? Good to see you, my friend. Pro-life only gets his shit because locals complained. Well, I think locals did complain. I do. Now, I went back, and after I'm watching some of this, and I watched Brian's live stream last night, Philly in the Philippines, because I've never heard of this turd. I never did. I'm just not into some of that. The TNA channels, I'm just not into it. I know most of you guys are. I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying I'm not into the TNA channels. I went back and watched some of his stuff, and that Brian mentioned, Philly in the Philippines, on his live stream. And I got to admit, a little bit of it was creepy. It reminded me of Tim K in a way, kind of creepy. If I wouldn't have appreciated him saying some of those things to my sister if I had one, or my wife, or anybody in my wife's family. You know, there's things that he said are it's a little creepy, In America, he would have got his ass beat for saying some of the things that he said. He would have just flatly got knocked to the ground. Maybe PH should adopt the Malayan law of caning. Yeah, I actually don't think that's a bad concept. I really don't. I think caning people is not a bad way. I think it's a good alternative. But now he's deported. He's out of here. He's gone. I'm not for sure if he's in the Philippines at this very second, but I know they took him to be deported. He's in custody because I watched the last slated video where they were taking him to the airport. But I don't know if it's up to YouTube. I think and I wrote this down. Here's one thing I ask. If I'm not offended by something that you do with me, then is it offensive? I always say what a husband and wife does behind closed doors is their business. If my wife and I tease each other, even in public, and I'm making a little bit of fun of her that somebody finds offensive, but if my wife doesn't find it offensive, is it offensive? Or do we got to always lead to social norms? What does the masses think is offensive? At least what does that region, what does that culture find offensive? The caning would be a good live show, right? I mean, hey, you could probably get a lot of views for a caning. They just put it, yeah, I'm telling you. How about the caning channel? We could have a YouTube channel called the Caning Channel. Wow, deported from the PA. Yes, he's an undesirable. And part of what they did was his visa was not renewed. Now, we don't know if he didn't do it or the government didn't allow it to be renewed so that they could have an excuse to kick him out of the country easily. Because instead of prosecuting him, it's easier to deport him. And that's what they're doing. They're not going to make any criminal charges. Nothing's going to go to court. Easier just to kick his ass out of the country. And he's going to go. Hey, Bama, Miss Exodus. Yes, Bama's in the house. Bama, good morning to you, my friend. Good to see you. How's things going? But we get 90 days YouTube jail for playing copyright music. I know. Isn't it just stupid as shit, Ian? Just stupid. I just demonetize those things. What I do is when YouTube says, hey, and I said, okay, well, just demonetize it, then I don't worry about it. So I just I let them do whatever they're going to do. I got a lot of things on here that aren't shareable, that certain countries can't be viewed. I got some things that are absolutely not monetized at all because there's copyright stuff. I don't get anything, but the partners do. Whatever. I don't care. I just don't worry about it. Hey, Bama. That's right. Bama's in the house in LOD. And all right, Craig, another one takes his place. Yeah, who's going to take his place? Who's going to? It's not me. Craig, if that's what you're leaning to, it's not me. No, another one will take his place. David's getting a chubby on a caning show. Yeah, well, it might be kind of cool. Can I volunteer to be the person that canes him? What do they call those? A katana stick? Is that the right term? Katana stick? Is that the right word? So I vote for we ban him. Sick grandpa's just a pathetic. You got to feel bad for him because he's not a big enough to make any damage, right? I don't know if he's in the Philippines or back in America or Thailand. I know people don't like him, but that's his whole stick. But I don't know if he's making any money because his channel is tiny, Geo, a lot of people don't like Geo. Old Dog New Trick, kind of creepy guy. Fred Flintstone. Is that the new one, Fred Flintstone? Should I write that down and look him up? Fred Flintstone, that'd be a good channel name. Might be copyrighted channel name, though. Maybe not in the Philippines or another country, but in America, that'd be copyrighted. Regular guy next. Maybe the regular guy. David, you can make a use, whatever stick. Oh, God, no. Jim, maybe, hey, boy, let me tell you, man. He's in Cebu now. Well, so here's one thing I will say about the idiot sick grandpa. One, he is an idiot. Come on, guys. Let's be realistic. All he's doing is trying to make fun of expats that can't get their hands on him. So you notice he's not going out there and talking shit to anybody face to face that can put their hands on him. You know that he's not talking shit about the Philippine people because they will hunt him down and take care of it. So he only likes to talk shit about channels and people that can't find him. That's it. He's a coward. In my book, sick grandpa, you're a coward. At least I have the balls enough. If you're in front of me, I will tell you what I think, whether you like it or not, or whether it works out for you or me. I will tell you what I think in person. Who I am on here is who I am in person. He doesn't have the balls to go and do that to other people. He's just done a live, did he? Probably did it about the same topic, right? Grandpa looks like Fred. Oh, yeah, he does look like Fred Flintstone. He does. Kuya says exactly. Good, yeah. You're right. So that's how I see that. Because if he had big balls, he would go out in the middle of the people of the Philippines and start giving them shit. That would show that you had balls. To go out there to a bar in the Philippines and run your mouth like you do on the internet in front of these Filipinos, and tell them how shitty they are. Try that. Not going to work for you. Even Enrique talked about that many years ago, that when he was one of the times he was first in the Philippines, he saw a guy in a bar talking a little bit of shit. Well, before you know it, it's not 1-on-1, it's 12-on-1, and there's some shit kicking going on. Not in the guy's favor. I can't watch him for more than 30 seconds. Yes, it's all a game. It is a game. It's a money game. And it's a click game. It's a view game. I'm getting so heated, I got to get my pink fan out. Like my pink fan? This live stream is brought to you by the Pink Fan Club. I know, kind of strange. It is all a game that everybody plays. I mean, I play it too, to be honest. My job is to get clicks and views for my YouTube channel, to try to grow this into something that could actually make me real money. It doesn't. Trust me, it does not. But my God, I wish I could. That's why I e-begged for $5 million, because I hope Elon Musk or somebody rich will take pity on me and say, if that fat guy would just shut up, I'll give him the damn $5 million. It is a game until the game kicks you in the balls. Right? My fan's too powerful. I got to turn it a little bit. But if you guys, what we have to ask ourselves is what would we do and where does that line come in? Is it what do we think is bad or creepy or destructive? Or is it what the social norms think? Even though I'm a big time individualist, I believe everybody should do whatever the hell they want to do in life and everybody else should kiss their butt, I do think your behavior in public has to meet the culture and the social norms. And I don't like that, but it is the way it is. You're in their country, you're on their turf, you're outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1. Yeah. You want to act stupid? That's right. Stupid will find you, right? Fifth is your title for views. Oh, that's way up there. I had a cell phone issue today. We had a countrywide cell phone outage. Something's going on, Craig. The turmoil that's coming up for this year has already started. Cell phone towers in the United States had glitches today. Kuya says, I just like entertainment and give some information. Yeah, I like to just, do me. I mean, I'm a talker, I'm a teacher, I'm a listener, I'm a learner. I love to listen to what other people have to say and what they do because this is how I learn. So we just kind of do what we do on our channel and go with it. Ozzy's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. If you haven't done that, make sure you do that or my wife will beat me. She will beat me for not getting a thumbs up. My internet connection was junky today. When you go to Brian Denny, we just want to make it out. That's right. Oh my God. Jimmy, troublemaker. Yeah, apparently the cell phone towers had issues today. All of them, for all carriers, but it was spotty, and Lorelei had good service. I had none. I drove all the way to the cell phone people and said, hey, and they said, oh, shit, not another one. Brian Denny, yes, want to make it out live. David, hit them all, but Space Cowboy. Space Cowboy, is that a YouTube channel again? I like them all. Pay your bill. Yes, you got to pay bills. I don't want to pay bills. I got to pay bills. Do I have bills? Yes, I have bills. I have a lot of bills. I'm poor. Poor people have bills. Did you know that? The richer you are, the less bills you have. So I'm trying to become rich so I have less bills. Come on. But YouTube, here's, there's so much on the table. There's so much meat on a bone to talk about. I don't know which direction to go. I feel bad for his family in the Philippines, the wife, the kid. But then again, I don't. And let me tell you why. Because she was 100% part of this. She was more than happy to dress in skimpy outfit, to take him to the slums. She was right there neck and neck, neck and neck, neck and neck. She's a part of what he created on his YouTube channel. So I see where a lot of people are going, oh my God, what about his wife? What about his baby? Well, yeah, you can feel sorry for them, but a big part of me feels like tough shit. You were there, you were part of it. Problem is the internet creates the social norms now. It does. Craig, you're exactly right. Social media, the internet, is now the social norm. It is. And it's a global, a macro versus a micro. 50 years ago, it was all about what was socially acceptable in my country, my state, my city, my town. All of that's gone now. There are no boundaries anymore. And if you're one of those channels that are looking for boobs, and his was, that's kind of his thing. He was a boob guy, I guess. You're going to make a lot of money, but long term, what are you going to do? And I think that's part of what we got to think about. What are you willing to do for your channel? What are you willing to do for clicks and views? We all have that line we got to cross, or that cross to carry. She would have no problem getting a new guy. Well, I would figure she would just go with him. He'll immigrate her over to Estonia. Who would want to live in Estonia? Does anybody even know where Estonia is? Flora's in the house. How are you, young lady? Good to see you. I bet you it's cold where you're at. Everybody said hello to Flora, by the way. You guys all say hello to each other, too. I've noticed nobody's saying hello to one another. And you must do that on this channel. It's the social norm on this channel to say hello to each other. Yes, sir, it's snowing. Yeah, you guys are going to get a bunch of bad weather this weekend. I don't think it's coming our way. It's just dumb luck for most channels. It is. I agree, dumb luck is a part of it. Hello, Flora. Good to see ya. How cold is it in Columbus? Yeah, very cold. Very cold. Cold. But did you have a problem? Did anybody have a problem with his channel? I want to ask this question seriously. Is there anybody who thought his channel or Tim K's channel or Elliot Eastman, who's dead, I'm telling you he's dead, his channel, or that Vladimir guy, or any of these channels, do you guys have a problem with their content? Do you have a problem with what happened to them? I reckon he will wait a few months and then end up in Thailand, Vietnam, or Cambodia. Right. Now, the real question is what's going to happen to his wife? Now, I didn't go back and watch, because I've never seen his shit before. But I did go back after Brian, Philly in the Philippines, was talking about it. And I saw one video where he gave his wife a new car. I don't know that's the interesting thing. Is she just going to smile and go, hoo-hoo? Who's going to take control of the channel? Does she have managing rights to the channel? Can she cut him out and take it over? Is he going to go to Estonia, which he said he's going to make a formal apology on his YouTube channel? I'm not for sure how cold, but it's snowing right. And I'm still at work. No, if I don't like it, I don't watch it. Simple. I would agree. That's the reason I guess I never saw his stuff, or I never really watched Tim K because I know he was pimping his wife. So, and I try not to pimp my wife. My wife pimps me. She throws me out here instead of me throwing her out here. So do we feel bad for him? I don't. I don't feel bad. And I don't want anybody to feel bad for any of these guys, even the good ones, because this is the life. Who did I talk to a while back? Oh, Tony, a Yank in the Philippines, right? One day, and I'm pretty blunt with Tony, so whether he likes it or not, him and I are pretty straightforward. And he was complaining on one of the live streams a little bit, and I told him, I said, why are you complaining? You're living the dream. You always wanted to go live in the Philippines. This was your dream. What do you got to complain about? Because now you're living your dream. And that goes for all of these, even the good channels. There are a lot of good YouTube channels out there that do a lot of good work, share a lot of good information that aren't that bad. But there's some of them that I find creepy. The other, what's your price? $5 million. What's my price? $5 million, man. I keep telling you, you give me $5 million and I'll get off the YouTube. You'll never see me. My price is, you gotta bribe me to get me the hell out of here. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for somebody to say enough of this shit. Give him some money and get him out of here. That's my strategy. I have nothing else to offer. I don't have any boobs to give you, right? I don't have any people to exploit, I don't think. I exploit my dogs. So Greg, my price, the only thing I have to offer for you guys to do is to get somebody to give me enough money to get me out of here. And then we're good, right? But that is a great question. What is your price for fame? And that's part of a song, right? What's the price of your fame? So you want to be famous or do you want to be rich? I'm both. And what are these guys trying to do? Do you think, You know, they want to be famous, or do you think they want to be rich? Or is it both? Lorelai takes it all, buddy. Craig, David doesn't get shit. David doesn't get shit. I'm telling you. I'm lucky if I get to have one soda. Sorry. This live stream is now brought to you by Brisk Lemon Iced Tea. I'm lucky if she lets me have one of these a day. That's it, man. She gets it all in the end, Craig. Don't they all? I think all wives get it all in the end. I don't know. Do we think? And part of the, sorry. Part of this is what irritates me. It's like, we don't care in America if you shit all over our culture. You can stay here and shit on us all you want. So I'm really jealous in the Philippines that if you shit on their culture, they'll kick your ass out of the country. So I'm really kind of disappointed, you know. Kuya says, I just found it interesting doing lives and meeting people from all over the world. I agree. I enjoy that. You know, as a what I would call a learner, somebody who loves knowledge, seeker of knowledge, I love meeting people from all over the world, even if they're tools, which means a dick. Even if they're, you know, turds. I still like meeting them. I still like hearing what they have to say because, one, it either reinforces what I think or changes my mind or helps me learn. I like education. I like knowledge. So when I hear somebody who's saying, well, in my country, you know, we do A, B, C, and D, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know why you would eat bugs, but hey, all right. For example, Fred is live every afternoon in the Philippines in the afternoon. We have a loyalty group of people that we watch and call family. Yeah, I've been on his lives in the afternoon. So I'm usually in bed. But yes. Now, and Kuya, what I'm going to say, Ian, what you have to decide, and I've learned this doing YouTube, as a content creator, and I know that Fred is not trying to grow a channel. If you want to grow a channel, what Fred does is one of the good things you can do in the very beginning, but will hurt your channel in the end. You have to diversify, and you can't have just a small click. And that's partly why, yes, I do live streams, I do videos, I do pet stuff, I do cooking stuff, but I also do live streams at all different points in times. Because I always meet and greet new people, I learn and grow my channel that way. I've told a lot of YouTubers that. Don't get in this habit if you want to grow your channel to setting up on Thursday night at 7 p.m. And that's all you're going to do. If you do it, even if you do it every night, you're still not going to grow. At some point, you're going to cap out. If you're not interested in growing, then that's great. You get to build yourself a neat little network. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's kind of what Ken does. Ken does his thing every night. He has a little social group that hangs out with him and he hangs out with them, right? So, nothing wrong with it. It's just what your intention is. You guys all know my intention. I don't hide my intentions whatsoever. My intention is to get Elon Musk or somebody rich to give me $5 million, which isn't happening, by the way. It's been over a year and still not happening. So it all depends on what you want to do. Now, this guy obviously wanted to be a YouTube superstar, and he used sex, and he used the ability that he could exploit poor people, or what we consider poor people, to his advantage. Apparently it worked. Kuya Ian says, that's why I post videos and shorts any time of the day and about all topics. That's right. Craig says, aren't friends people you actually converse with in person? Just a discussion point. I agree. Now look, I think there's social media friends, so like acquaintances, and then there's friends that maybe you have one-on-one conversations with, and I do think you can have friends not face-to-face. I think you can, in today's world, you know, and I'll say this, and that's a great topic if anybody wants to jump in on that, what Craig is asking. Everybody read Craig's comment. So, because I look at it this way, Craig. When I met Lorelai and we did the face-to-face stuff every day, well, that led us to getting married, right? So I have to go, yes. I think you can have friends on social media. I think you can have friends that you haven't met in person. I don't think you can have a wife that you haven't met in person. I think depending on how you classify it. Sometimes I do believe that it's probably easier to have internet friends or online friends than it is real friends. Because real friends can be a pain in the ass. Real friends will ask you to come move furniture. Well, you know the internet friends aren't going to ask you to go move that washer and dryer. Only your real friends are going to call you up and say, man, I got to get some firewood in. I need some help. I'm like, oh, shit. Interesting, some people are not the same off camera. I would agree 1,000%. Who we are, our persona, is not necessarily who we are. And I'll say that for myself. I make reference to me. I am, and I'll tell you guys, I am a true introvert. But I am a professional, Craig, watch it, I am a professional extrovert. I know when to turn it on and how to do my thing and then how to get off and go back to being who I am. I learned that as a teacher, standing in front of a group. You take on a role, a persona, and that's who we are. Harder to block real friends? Yeah, kind of, unless you move away. Yeah, I would agree. You know, then of course the question is, well, if you met him in person, but you haven't seen him in 10 years, are they still a real friend? Or do you classify them as a long distance friend? I don't know. I think the friendship that people feel via pen pal, the old days is called what, pen pal, right? I think that was real. I think the feeling of friendship is authentic. I do. I even believe these people that say they're married and they've never met their wife really believes they're married. In their minds, they're married. I've never met her, I've never touched her, right? We haven't said I do in front of anybody, but we talk all the time, so therefore she's my wife. I believe they believe that. Is there anything wrong with that? I don't know. I don't think so. As long as we go back to this whole thing, as long as they're both okay with it, I'm really big on this. If they're both okay with it, then who are we to say? And that's no good. No good. I don't like that. Kuya says, I've actually met 3 of my subscribers in person and would say they are not the same on camera. I would agree with you. I've met, I don't know how many, to be honest. I've met a number of them. I have. I met a few that I didn't know I was going to meet, which is strange, you know, because I'm an introvert. So when I'm on an elevator, minding my own damn business, I'm not YouTubing, I'm not teaching a class, I'm not leading a crowd. Well, I'm just on a damn elevator. And I'm minding my own business. I'm doing my own thing. And somebody comes up and says, hey, Pack. And I'm like, what? What the fuck you talking about? What? Pack? What? I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm sitting here going in my head, what? What is this person talking about? Then it dawns on me, oh, yeah. Because I separate the two. When I'm just out Walmarting without you guys or the internet, I'm just going to Walmart. And I'm trying to figure out how to keep my wife spending too much money. You know, when somebody walks up and say, hey, David, now I used to have that a lot when I was a teacher. Hey, Mr. Hartman, how are you? Good to see you. I'm like, yeah. But now, so. So I don't know how they were in person or how they weren't supposed to be. I find, I guess, Kuya, Ian, what I will tell you is, I think you have to understand that those people are not who they are on the internet. So I think once you go into this, going, I don't expect David to be who David is in person. Because on the internet, he's these damn good looking, handsome, charming, well spoken, outspoken, talented, gifted orator. In public, he's, I just mind my own damn business. So, just thought I would share that with you. Craig says, that's right, their choice as long as they're happy. Right. What do we care? So, now what this young man did, and I don't know how old he is, he's probably 30, 32. I do believe he intentionally, because I watch some of his stuff, and I'm going to give you a point, and I'll probably get a strike or make this non-monetized, which is fine. But I'll make the point that I know that he's a creep because there's been so many times that I've been live streaming or I've been making a video in Florida or in the Philippines or in Aruba, especially in Aruba. Oh my God, guys, Aruba, holy shit and butt farts. But I've been to these locations where there's been women without clothing on and or exhibiting very bright headlights. And I know all of the men in here know what I mean. But I don't call attention to it because I'm not a pervert. And I'm not trying to get you to watch this video because some girl has really big headlights and they're shining brightly at the night. But that's what he's doing. And that's partly where people are not happy with is being perverted. Now, the whole monkey thing is a total different thing. They're really hung up on how he refers to the Filipino people as monkeys. You actually see their true personality and how they live. I agree. I would agree. You guys, and Ian, here's what I'm going to tell you about that. Because Lorelai and I thought a lot about this over the years. We decided on our channel we would kind of show you what we best of we could, the real us. Now, we don't show you when we fight because that would be bad. But you guys have all seen the house. You've seen the yard. You've seen the friends. You've seen the cars. You've seen the trips. So who we present, we pretty much are. Now, we don't show you everything. We never would. I'm not giving you my bank account information or anything like that. But we show you a lot of ourselves, and we decided to do that. Craig says 80% of the internet is porn. So in reality, they are doing this. They are. It's the market share. And this is part of what you got to ask. Is he really a genius or is he a pervert? Well, he's a genius because he took advantage of what's already being out there. And he got him in a little niche. He cut him out a little slither. So he made a lot of money and probably is still making a lot of money over the next week or two. Because now he's going to go on and make videos about being deported and how all of that worked. They are showing what people want to see. They are. And if people didn't want, that's why, and I'm going to tell you, and this is no offense to any of the women in the audience, I don't go to a lot of women's channels and watch. And, there's like, the Double Rose twins, who are a very nice set of twins living in America. There's some other channels that I know that I will stop in and say hi and visit, but I don't stick around because I'm a married guy. I don't think it's appropriate to go hang out, and those are good channels. Those are really good channels, clean channels, PG channels. You will never find me, if I stumble on it, because I've never known them, some of the R-rated Filipino channels who's trying to raise money. David doesn't do those channels. One, I think the guys in the chat are disgusting. But I think the girl's disgusting. because, she's selling what she got. And more power to her. I just don't want to be a part of it. And the same thing goes on. I've stumbled across a couple of channels that are racist channels. And I've gone in and went, huh, what? And I'm sitting there thinking, no, you people are full of shit. No, out of there, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be associated with that. There's a lot of perverts out there. There's more perverts than not perverts. And in some ways, we're all perverts. It just depends on what we are perverted in, right? What is it that is our pervert? Our trigger. I mean, Tim K, and I've told this story, but I remember Tim K, back years ago, he was doing a live stream, and he point blankly said, look, I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to bring my wife out here, and within minutes, the number of people watching my live stream is going to double, and my super chats are going to go through the wall, go through the roof. He brings his wife out, sits next to her, puts a camera on her, gets her talking to Spartan. All of a sudden, boom, numbers jump. Super chats jump. He knows what he is doing, period. But people like that. What I do find, and I've talked about this, is what I do find pathetic are the guys who think they're going to go to these R-rated Filipino channels or Thailand channels or American channels, because there are some in America, and flirt with them and super chat with them, and someday, somehow, they're going to get something out of it. You're not getting a damn thing out of it. Nothing tangible. You're not. It's not going to happen. Fred and myself go to a quiet few of the girly channels. Woohoo! Fred and Ian, as mods to control the chat. Sometimes we are so busy kicking out the pervs. Right, but the girls want the pervs. Now, don't you find? Look, why would you kick them out? It's what the girls want. Otherwise, they wouldn't be the girly channels. They would be like Bi or Double Rose Twins. That's a very PG. Double Rose Twins, if you don't know them. Very PG channel. It would be like them, right? If they're not like them, don't they want the perverts? The more the merrier. The more chat they get. What is Lisa's channel? Lisa has style, got style. She never shows any skin, but she shows off her body. She gets a lot of traction, right? So I don't think by getting rid of perverts, you're helping them. You may be cleaning up the chat, but they don't care about that. We actually help their channels, okay? That's the safe option for them. Just dream, too afraid to live it. I would agree, Craig. I think that's a great point. A lot of people are living a fantasy. And so if they can have a 10-minute fantasy that some cute girl with big boobs in the Philippines might actually want to be with them because he gave her $10, okay. It's just not reality. It's not reality. But hey, that's her business. That's her way. And I don't begrudge the Filipino channels, the women channels, the rated R channels for women. I don't begrudge them trying to make money, trying to hustle. I mean, Lisa's in Canada. So I don't mind them doing that. It doesn't bother me a bit. I think it's their God-given right to take money from perverted men that are idiots. If I could figure out how to do it, I would do it. But apparently every time I show my boobs, everybody gets off the damn YouTube channel. There is no super chats. The numbers go kaboop. Apparently it doesn't work for me. So, I don't have a problem with doing it. I don't go to them. I don't participate in that. Not that I'm a holy roller or anything like that. It's just that I'm a married guy. I think it's inappropriate. Now, I will say one channels I don't like, and I know there's some of them out here. I think one of the ones is called Rose something or something, a Filipino channel. Her husband kind of pimped her out, kind of like Tim K. You know, Tim K would put his on there to make money. There's other older men channels or female channels that kind of, you know, hey, look at my hot, sexy wife, you know, in her bikini, you know, dancing, doing exercise while I sit on the couch, you know, and she's doing exercises in front of the camera. I think those are shameful because you don't know if the woman is being exploited and or if she's 1,000% into it. But the guy has to be a real creep to allow that. I'd never let my wife do that. When the guys are so stupid to give money, yes, yes, yes. Jimmy, what? Boobs? Oh, no, God, no, David. I know, but I know. But boobs are boobs. I have boobs. Give me money. I mean, shit. I can even legally show you mine. The girls can't legally show you theirs. Now, you can become a member and go to their back screen, right, and get private videos, but I can show mine in public, and nobody will pay me. I don't understand it. Yeah. Paul, the old dog with baby man. Yeah, that's gross. And let me say this, and I don't watch his channel because personally, I don't like him. You know, I'm a very upfront and honest people, and a lot of people don't like me, and I'm okay with that. But there's something about his voice and his face that I don't like. I don't like him. I don't like listening to, I don't like it. And maybe a lot of people don't like listening to me, but I don't like his voice and I don't like his face. So I don't watch him. And then, of course, Baby May's ugly. Sorry, Baby May, but you're not very pretty. You're just trying to show your body. And the big thing that I hear from everybody else with his channel is he's out there trying to get her to get other girls to come be part of the channel. And that's his big thing, right? Boobs, pink fan, starting to rethink. See, Craig? Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I know, Jimmy, I know. But some of us have to be humble. Even when it's hard, you gotta be humbled. But so that, I think, is a little creepy for me, a little pathetic. But then again, I don't know if he's paying those girls. Now, if he's paying these girls to come on his stuff wearing bikinis and they're making money, then who are we to bitch? If they're coming on his channel and being exploited, not getting anything out of it, and he's making money, well, he's not being a very good pimp then, is he? At least pimps will give the woman a little bit of money, as far as I know. You know, there hasn't been any pimping going on in this in my world in a long time. May is smart. She understands how her world works, I think. I would agree with that. Is she playing him? Maybe she's a smart one. She's playing him. There's a lot of mama songs that way are smarter than the guys are. Maybe the other old guy who sits on the couch while his wife named Rose, I think was her name, is doing exercise that kind of makes you go, when you see things, you know, maybe she's smarter than he is. I don't know. Baby May is, oh my God, I'm going to hell. You know, I will say I do think there's a difference between Baby May and somebody like Tim K's wife. Now, Tim K, I'll tell you, and I pick on him a little bit, I guess. I mean, he got, look, whether you liked him or not, Tim K walked away with a shitload of money. He's out of the country. He's living his life. He's got a nice wife and babies now. But he got him a little 16-year-old, gave mom and dad $300 or $400. I can't remember. Maybe it was $800. He had a video in the very beginning of his channel years ago that he took down, where he had a video showing how much money he gave to whatever Chrissy's mom and dad. He bought him a virgin. He bought a virgin. Now, you could tell on their live streams, she was okay, but she wasn't trying to say, hey, look at my boobs, like, you know, but he was pimping her. And you could kind of tell there's a difference in her look, her eyes. Pimping other girls on her own channel now, right? Because she knows that old dog is going to kill over dead. and she knows old dog may get deported. He may become an undesirable, right? So she better have her own channel and her own money and her own name to get that hustle money, right? Because he's going to get old and pee himself a lot, have to wear diapers. He's going to be able to, slobber all over himself, hanging out in the house. So yeah, she's going to have to take the pimping life into her own world, into her own hands. Craig likes that. So I don't know. The Missy's channel's in the house. Everybody say hello to Missy's channel. But I do think this guy was creepy to women that he didn't know. And so that's kind of a big difference for me. If your girlfriend is okay with you pimping her out, or she's okay with you pimping her out, that's one thing. But when you're on the street pointing out how shiny and bright these headlights are and how he cannot not focus on them, yeah, it's a little creepy. Everybody say hello to Missy. His good partner offers variety to old dog. There you go. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Because nobody wants to see old dog. He's not. Who would want to see him? Who would want to see me? I've noticed many Filipinos have excellent long game. Yes, they do. Trust me. Whether they admit it or not, or say it or not, they have a long game. Hello, Missy's channel. How are you? Hi, y'all. Just hanging out. Well, I'm glad you're hanging out. Hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts? Do you know anything about? Do you have any thoughts on bad behavior by expats in the Philippines? Do you think? Do you know about what's his name again? What's his name again? I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know. What was his name again? Forgot his name. Hang on. Shit, I don't take very good notes if I don't even write his name down. Oh well, I don't know his name. Well, I forgot his damn name now. Shit. Pro-life, thank you. See, that brain coma kicks in once in a while. Just hanging out. What's hanging out? Craig's asking you, Missy, which part of the body is hanging out? That's what he meant by that. Pro-life, yes. So, Missy, do you have an opinion? What do you think? Do you even know anything about it? Do you think the average Filipino or Filipina gave a shit? Or do you think it's just the fact that a handful got fed up with him and they wanted him out? Maybe his wife wanted him out. Maybe his wife ratted him out so that she could get him out of here and she could keep all the money in the new car. His channel is called Pro-Life. He's a expat from Estonia, I think, which I don't even know where the hell that is anymore. Maybe May messed up David Good. Just gross. Don't need to see a 90-year-old mama song. So he has a YouTube channel where he shows the bad side of the Philippines. The slum, the poorer side. A lot of girls not wearing bras. A lot of that type of activity. He made some negative comments about the Philippine people, calling them monkeys and such. There's some allegations of child abuse. In America, it would probably be called, probably be more of a, we would probably classify it as more of a sex crime, exploitation of a child, something like that. Estonia, what did I say? Estonia, pro-life traveler, only when you're 110. Oh, Craig. So it's a good thing you don't know anything about it, but he has 100,000 subscribers, and now he got deported today, or yesterday, depending on the clock. And so we happen to be talking about what are you willing, and you have a YouTube channel. So what are you willing to do for clicks and views, is my question. He obviously was willing to show everybody on the internet that he was a creep. Creepy. That if he did some of those things to Craig's wife or daughter, Craig would punch him in the face. Because I would do the same. So he's a creep. You know, I'm sorry. The guy's a creep. Just watch, you know, it's like Tim K. Well, what I know from personal experience about the Philippine people is I have a lot of fellow YouTubers from there, and they are absolutely the sweetest people. That's my experience. Am I one of them? Am I one of them? You can say it. You can tell everybody out there that I'm one of the sweetest YouTube channels there is. It's okay. It's okay. Well, Missy says, there are a lot of bad sides to many countries. Absolutely. Every country. Ours for sure. So many Americans just seeing another country. Well, David is Pinoy. I am. I can identify as any damn thing I want in America. I don't even got to be a boy, and I can identify as a boy. I could be a girl and identify as a butterfly. I can be anything I want in America. Never knew. I don't think pro-life even aware of his kindness. Oh, Jimmy, I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think you can't. If you're on the spectrum, maybe. He didn't have to point out the girl's nipples were sticking out. You just walk by the girl. You just keep going. Been there, done that. I've been on a beach in Aruba where I was shocked to see a naked lady walking down the damn beach. Well, I averted the camera and didn't announce it. A little shocked. Just glad Lorelai wasn't around because she would have hit me, even though I had nothing to do with it. I was just on the damn beach. So, the people I've met online, many from that country, makes me want to visit there. Well, I think the Philippines is a great country. I think Thailand's I think all the countries are pretty good countries. And I do think the people is what make things great. Obviously, the Philippines has a long way to go to be super great, but the people are great. I agree with that. America's kind of the other way. America itself is super great. The people suck. We suck. You know, I was stationed in Germany in the 90s, never went to anywhere, but they had new beaches back then. See? There you go. And so, Mrs. Channel, the question is this. Oh, made me turn my notes over. Obviously, that was normal in Germany, right? So, were you offended by it? Were people offended by it? Or was it just part of the culture? If I'm offended by it, but it's not my culture, do I have a right to be offended? Let's see. Kuya says, they still have, Lorelai will hit you no matter what. Yes, she will. It's my fault no matter what, Joe. You're right about that. And swim bads, right? I don't know what FKK stands for. Strand. Oh yeah, the red light districts too. Well, the Philippines has Walking Street or Red Street, whatever it's called now. So it was appropriate. And here's one thing I'll say. This is interesting. This brings up a very interesting point. Like many YouTubers walking up and down Walking Street, nobody seems to have a problem with the headlights flopping around and being bright. But if you're out in the province, the local communities, and that's happening, there's a problem with it. Why is it okay on Walking Street, but not in the province? That's my question to you guys. Ms. Jano said, I went to, where my Kurin says, I lived in Germany for 27 years. That's your problem. Ian, I knew there had to be something wrong with you. You know, I'm actually German. I'm that famous single German guy, that singer. I just live in America now. Went to Korea, and there was some ordinary places there, but it still had much beauty to behold. Oh, yeah, I think Korea, the Asian, yeah, I agree. Sounds like Missy's followed my footsteps. She was stalking you, Ken. She was stalking you. I was too in Korea and Germany in the army. just teasing you. Would not surprise me. We did not cross paths. Yeah, you may have crossed paths. You never know. You may have sat in a bar and he sat in a bar and you guys were 6 feet away and didn't even know it. Could be. So if everybody's up in arms because he's walking around where the poor people are, the people that are just doing their laundry, trying to get by day to day, and in their province, they're not wearing bras, and I think he's over fixated on it. I believe he's intentionally finding those people out so he can look at it. Okay, look, and I get that. So, if you go down Walking Street, you see the exact same thing, do you not? Or maybe even more. So, is there a difference? I mean, even Brian, Philly in the Philippines, he spent his early days walking up and down Walking Street. And he has a good channel, and he's a decent guy. He's not a pervert, I don't think. So, but that's what he did. I mean, they all have done it. How many YouTube channels do we know have spent time on Walking Street? Right? So, did he do... Now, and if you guys don't know, just to get you a little bit caught up, he's being deported because his visa's expired. Now, we don't know, and the question is, did his visa expire and he did not renew it? Or did they not allow him to renew it and it expired? Which gave them ammunition and reason to get him out of the country easily without taking him to court and prosecuting him, right? Because that's what they're going to do. In lieu of sending him to jail, they're sending him back to his country. I went where Uncle Sam sent me. Absolutely. Woohoo. Hopefully not in the schwim bad, right? I don't even know what that is. Somebody's going to have to give me the definition of that. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the blacklist in the Philippines, everybody, and or what makes you an undesirable. Do you guys want to talk about that? I've never been to Walking Street in Angeles, but I've just been down the road for 6 years. See? Maybe you're not a creep. Maybe you're not looking for a cheap peep show. I don't know. Why keep changing? So if we were really smart, we should be concentrating on Facebook to make money. You think? Well, Lorelai does the Facebook on our stuff. I do YouTube, Lorelai. Look, I don't think either one of them, TikTok, YouTube, any of them, unless you're a beautiful girl and you're willing to hustle your ass off, none of them is going to make you a lot of money. Just not. The only way people make money is by donations, and we all know this. Unless you get to be really big because you happen to be a really cute girl and you got a great smile and you can flirt your little butt off, and then you get idiot men chasing you on TikTok and every other format there is. You know, trust me, I've tried this. It doesn't work. Paid 3 times YT, pays 3 times more. Yeah. Lorelai does the YT, the Facebook stuff. Big Q says, John, the bar 6 feet from heaven. There you go. Ian, there was a walking street in Shanghai that we visited almost every weekend for 12 years. So I think I've seen it all. Well, and there does come a point in time when you do kind of see it all, right? What is there to see? You know, you've seen one, you've seen it all. But so that's part of what I think is they kicked him out of the country, made it easy to get him out. Now, I was going to tell you, we're going to talk about the blacklist and the undesirable list. Let me get over here and pull my list up. Everything becomes boring after time. It does. Especially if you have the attention span of a gnat like me. I mean, I need to be a billionaire so that I could just go anywhere and do anything I want and have people follow me and clean up after me. That's all I need to do. Yes, Craig, King David, good to see you. Thank you, John. Good to see you too, my friend. Thank you for the thumbs up and joining us tonight. What makes an undesirable person in the Philippines? Can anybody, I want you guys to guess before I tell you, because I got it right here. I found it right here on the internet. So it's not hard to find. But I want you guys to tell me, what do you think is a reason you could be labeled undesirable. John says blacklist, skin color. Yeah, it is kind of racist, isn't it, John? But since the Philippine people aren't white, like me, is it racist? I don't know. That's just an extra thought. And most of the girls in the bars in Shanghai were Filipino. Yes. They got to go somewhere to get a job. Why is it all interpretation in my views? Why not? Holy macaroni. Undesirable behaviors. And so under the categories, you got behavior, actions, status, actions again, behavior again. So what is something that we think would be considered undesirable? Undesirable behavior. Craig, I think John behaves. If Dennis was here, Dennis would need to hear this. Where's Dennis? Dennis, I think you need to hear this. So a politician excluded, yes. Yes. Engaging in activities that could harm public safety or security, such as political involvement or participation in protest. Gee, America could take a lesson from this one. Read it again, Mr. Hartman. Sure, I will be able to do it. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Engaging in activities that could harm public safety or security, such as political involvement or participation in protest. Because you're not a citizen of the damn country, you moron. You have no right to protest because you're not a citizen. Hello? You're a guest. Don't get involved in business that's not yours. Everybody in America, listen to that. Dumbasses. Just saying. That got me fired up. If you guys didn't, that one fired me up. Undesirable usually is desirable. Could be kind of fun. I do think they're kind of fun. That's a behavior. Undesirable action. Committing crimes or offenses that could be detrimental to the country's interest, such as drug trafficking or involvement in subversive activities. So no drug trafficking, drug dealing, anything like that, and or trying to undermine the government. All right? That's pretty simple. America could learn something from that one too. No drugs. What is it called in the Philippines? Shabu? Shamu? Somebody give me a thing. Shabu? What is it? I don't remember because I'm not big into drugs. What makes a person undesirable? Status. Having a criminal history. Hey, you know, it's been said that our friend who's being deported has a criminal history in his country. Shabu, thank you. How do you know the term? How did you come up with it just like that? Just ask. Being a public charge or being associated with a group that threatens the stability of the country. Once again, they don't want you to rock the boat in the Philippines. Now, it could be said that he's rocking the boat because he's bringing so much negative attention to the Philippines. That's what they're saying. He's an undesirable because he's put the Philippines in a bad light. He's called them monkeys, and he shows off and laughs at their boobs. It's always in the news. All right, just checking. You know, I know what Red Horse is, but it's not in the news. I'm just saying. Another action, engaging in activities that could be seen as burden to the state, such as prostitution or being a sex offender. Well, the real thing we'd have to look at is what is the definition of prostitution in the Philippines? That I do not know. Is he pimping his woman, you know, on her YouTube channel? You know, is he pimping these other girls? Is Old Dog New Trick being a pimp? You know, is he, maybe Old Dog New Dog or whatever his name is in this, or Geo or some of these other guys. Maybe Enrique way back early years, but I think he's cleaned up his act a lot. So I don't think he does that. But that could be seen a burden to the state such as prostitution or being a sex offender. Well, what is a sex offender in the Philippines? I don't know the age of consent. I'm sure it's probably 16. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys know what the age of consent in the Philippines is. But look, I got a whole big thing that 20 years is about it, folks. If the girl's 40, you need to be 60. That's anywhere in there, that's fine. But no damn 60-year-old needs to be messing with a 20-year-old. So I got a whole big thing. So there is that whole thing about underage minors. And that's a big issue in the Philippines and has been for years. I remember the Shanghai on Cebu Island, on Mactan Island, off of Mactan where the airport is in Cebu, there's a resort called the Shanghai. It's a nice one, expensive one. But they put signs up on the grounds and in the hallways. I don't remember exactly what the sign said, but basically it said, there is no prostitution and or porn making allowed on premise. Because apparently people were using their hotel as a porn studio. And there was so much underage happening there that they had to go the extra step and prevent it from happening. Froggy, there's a blast from the past. Froggy. So there you go. You know, that's some of it. Now, is he being a sex offender by pointing out their headlights and going, oh my God, I can't stop looking at them? When the girl looks to be maybe 14, 15. Now, there is an issue with how Asian women look. I know an 80-year-old Asian woman that could pass for 50 years old every day of the week. I know some 20-year-old Filipino girls that look like they're 14. You know, so there is kind of that gray area, but best case scenario is if you don't know, treat it as they're a minor child. That's the decent thing to do. And part of the problem with gentlemen like him and Tim K and a few others is they don't know where to cut that decency line off. Or they're willing to blow the line away in order for clicks and views. It's like me. I will give you naked pictures of my top, my chest, for clicks and views, or whatever. What do they call it? I can't remember. So, he's definitely within that window. I don't know if you could say hard and fast, this is what he's doing, but it definitely sounds like he's there. He is basically making the country look bad, and now there's a sexual component to it. There's a kind of like a racial component to it by calling people monkeys. There you go. Here's a big one. And this is for all of us YouTuber, or all of you people, not just YouTubers. This goes for all of you guys. Engaging in activities that could be seen as a threat to public health, which is, I got to stop right there because all the people pissing in the sidewalks in the Philippines, you need to take note of that, all right? I don't want to see you shitting I don't want to see it. That's bad for public health. Let me just throw that out there. Public health or morals, such as being a public charge or engaging in illegal activities. Now, I guess, you know, we don't know all the laws that you can violate in the Philippines, but I know they got laws and they can select. The problem is they selectively enforce them, and we get that. If they don't like you, they can, same thing in America. You can get away with anything in America as long as they like you. If they like you in the Philippines or you got enough cash to slip it under the table, you can get away with anything. But once you cross that bridge and they don't like you anymore, well, you're out of here. Violating morals, committing crimes. Mental health. Mental health issues, yeah. I got a lot of those, John. Thoughts don't count. Well, not unless you speak them out loud. I guess by reading some of this, if you spoke your thoughts out loud, it could be deemed harmful to the country. The reasons are part of the broader framework of the Philippines' immigration laws and policies, which aim to ensure the safety and security of the country. What do you guys think? Is there anything wrong with any of that? Now, let me get to the blacklist. The racist blacklist. But can it be racist, John? I mean, what if I called it the white list? Would it be racist? You know, I don't know. I don't know. Because, look, I'll tell you a quick story if you want. We have a Filipino friend. She's young, very young. You guys have seen her. You don't know her, but you've seen her, and you probably don't know it. That is very dark-skinned for even in the Philippines. And she told me the sad story that she was so excited to come to America. She's only been here a couple of years. She came over with the bigger family. That in the Philippines, her being so dark-skinned, she got bullied a lot by the lighter-skinned girls and boys because she's not as light as skin as some of the Filipinos. So she thought and said she was shocked how being in America, nobody bullies her. She gets flirted with a lot. Nobody flirted with her in the Philippines. In America, people are kind of interested in her. They don't see her dark skin as a problem. Now, which is kind of weird knowing that we do have the race thing here in America, right? So, but she's tickled to death that she's not being bullied, that people are talking to her, flirting with her, you know, and she's pretty dark skinned. Just saying. Big John says, Craig says, that's why you have those photos in the safe to be used when needed. Yes. I got some photos of Big John. Woo! Man, they're kind of scary. Now, I keep a bunch of photos of me. Now, remember, I sell topless photos of myself, $5 million each. Just hit me up on Messenger if you want one. People's country, people choices. It is. And like somebody said earlier in the live stream, we do believe that social media is changing a culture social norm. I do believe we see that right now in front of us. Social media is making one culture globally. It's taking the cultures from everywhere, diluting them, and putting more of a broader culture, which I don't think is a good thing long term. And that's why Japan is working so hard to tell foreigners, stay the hell out. You're not going to screw with our culture. We're keeping the Japanese culture. And I like what they're doing. Discount for 10? Yes, you can have a discount for 10. In fact, you can have all 10 for $5 million on a Wednesday night special. Tonight's Wednesday night special, right? Is it Wednesday night? Yeah. Wednesday night special, you get all 10 for $5 million. I used to be a beach bunny, Big John says. A beach bunny. I don't know about that one. All right, let me get my eyeballs working again, because as old people need to see. The Philippines blacklist refers to a system that bars certain individuals, particularly foreign nationals, from entering the country due to various violations of immigration laws or other legal issues, such as being an undesirable. Missy Channel says, good night, all of y'all. I am so happy to got to come and meet and greet and see all of you wonderful people. Missy, we appreciate you. Good luck. Take care. We'll talk to you. You will get jack slapped. Well, the Japanese, I've been watching a lot of this because I find what we're doing in America really interesting. How people are pissed off at us in America because we're trying to hold on to certain things, right? You know, immigration, trying to enforce XYZ, this, and this. But Japan is not sorry for it. Japan is point blankly saying, we don't want you trampling in certain natural forest. We don't want you exploiting our natural resources. These are Japanese resources. We don't want you coming over here and treating them like shit. You're going to respect it or you're not going to be here. We don't want you influence our economy negatively. We don't want you basically polluting the bloodline. That's one thing that I've kind of read between the lines is in Japan, they don't want foreigners polluting the bloodline, which I think is really racist, but it's their country. All right, so let's get into this. You can be put on a blacklist for immigration violations. Now you might be able to put on it even if you're a citizen, if you violate immigration stuff, I don't know. Common reasons include overstaying, there you go, undesirable. Our young man, pimping out his woman is being sent home because technically the easiest thing is he overstayed his visa. So there you go. Plane ticket to Estonia. Have a good time. Failing to extend a tourist visa, for all of you tourists in the Philippines, you can be put on the blacklist if you piss somebody off because you didn't extend your tourist visa in the correct time. Understand that. So if you piss people off, instead of just paying the simple little penalty or a fixer, you can be sent away. I have to run, got my live. All right, enjoy. Great live, by the way. Thank you, Ken, appreciate you. Mike and Venus pissed me off. Damn right he did. What pissed you off? Tell me about it, Mike. I am here. I am here to listen and to sell topless photos of myself. Hey, MJ, joke still, yes, leaders of radioactive groundwater pouring into the Pacific every day. Yes, I agree. Maybe that's why they don't want you there, right? They don't want you to become a mutant. But Japan is doing that. Mike and Venus says, hello, Mike. How do you feel about, shit, I forgot his name again, damn it. All right, Ian, throw his name down. I forgot his damn name again. Criminal activities, blacklist. Criminal activities can make you an undesirable, which puts your happy butt on the blacklist. Individuals involved in criminal activities such as drugs, sex crimes. Hey, do they consider what he's been doing as sex crimes? May be blacklisted to protect the public safety. Send him away. Yes. Japan sterilized themselves, radiation. There you go. Yeah, maybe they did. Pro-life traveler. Thank you. Say, well, now he truly is a pro-traveler, right? He's going to get on Philippine Air or Estonia Air, and he's going to be traveling. He's a pro-traveler. They don't belong here. Okay, Mike says. They are not good people. Yeah, Mike, did you ever follow? Did you know who he was before the last couple of days? Because I did not. I don't follow people like that. So I didn't know anything about him. And then after being on a Philly in the Philippines live stream the other day and some others, I kind of caught up on and went and did some research. Another reason you get your happy butt placed on the blacklist, foreigners who display rude, holy shit, behavior towards immigration officers or engage in activities deemed undesirable may also face blacklisting. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I want to read this again. Foreigners who display rude behavior towards immigration officers. Holy crap. If America had that rule, we wouldn't have an illegal immigration issue. Just saying. Saw videos in the past and stopped following them. Okay, good. I never did. Always just showed respect. You mean you do. He didn't. I watched some of his stuff and I found him to be a little creepy. I gotta admit. I went back after Brian said something. I went and looked and said, well, yeah, I kind of agree. He's a little creepy. I wouldn't want him doing that to my family. If he said shit like that, I'd punch him in the face. So, yeah, I found him kind of creepy. And of course, since he called the Filipino people monkeys, or referred to them as monkeys, me, always show respect. Yes, you do. And the best way you can show respect in a foreign country is what? Shut your mouth, mind your business, right? Be polite. And what's really weird, and I'll tell you this, and I've told this before a lot, I'm not a nice guy. I'm pretty stern. I mean, I'm easy going, but I also feed off of the energy around me, like everybody does. But I am shocked that when I go on vacation in the Philippines, how nice everybody is to me, because I'm on vacation, I'm spending money. I'm not void of that knowledge that the reason they're so nice, partly, is because I'm handing out dough, right? But when people are nice to you, you're nicer to them. And then if you get away from the tourist stuff and you get out into the real world of the Philippines, they're nice people. They really are. They're not rude like Americans. They really are nice people. So I think it's hard to be that in the Philippines. Drink their beer, Mike says. Talking to children about not wearing a bra and said he can't. Yeah, I know, I saw it. Creeped me out. I agree. I get it. I thought it was, if in America, he would have been facing big issues. He would have been charged with, some kind of sexual crime against a child. He would have been. I don't know what it would have been, or child endangerment, or something. I mean, there would have been something. It would have not have flew well here. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of red flags or creepy flags. I call them creepy flags. Tim K always gave me the creepy vibe. Paul the old dog gives me the creepy vibe. There's a lot of them give me the creepy vibes. I don't watch them. There's a lot of Filipina channels, the women channels, that give me a creepy vibe. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, I don't know what disease you have coming out of there, but don't come around me. Let's see here. You cannot participate in politics. Engaging in political activities or protests can lead to blacklisting as part of the list for undesirable. As a foreigner, generally prohibited for participating in local affairs. Meaning, mind your own damn business. You don't, and look, that's part of the beef in America, guys. A lot of us who are citizens are here legally, like my wife and myself. I don't like illegals voting in our elections. If you're not here legally, you shouldn't get to vote. I can't vote in the Philippines. If I lived in Japan, I couldn't vote there. If I lived in Thailand, I don't get a vote there, right? Unless I become is it a Taiwanese citizen? Unless I become a citizen of that country, me don't get a vote. Mike says, same here. I have a propensity to gravitate towards good people and away from others. That's why Mike always comes to my channel. He's looking for the others. He's looking to get away from the others, and there's no otherwhere else to go. No, Mike just won't admit it. Mine's the best on the internet. I just still e-begging for that $5 million. Mike, we appreciate you visiting us. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Consequences of being blacklisted. You can be denied entry into the country. Wow. It's easy just to sit in our homes, drink local beer, and mind our own business. Well, now, Ian, I'm going to say this. I found that activity, to be honest, living in the Philippines, extremely boring for me. My personality type, that did not do well with. One, I do like the Red Horse, but I don't drink that much. Two, sitting around doing absolutely nothing but drinking, it just didn't work for me. I've told everybody, we screwed up. We should have bought a beach resort that we looked at. It would have gave Lorelai a business to run, would give me something to do besides sitting around. So for me, that doesn't work. I have to have a purpose. You're great, I admit. I always find good content coming from your channel, even when you are on instead of my wife. Yeah. See, Lorelai pimps me. She's the one. See, on these YouTube channels where these dudes are putting their booby women out there to make money, that's what Lorelai's doing to me. She's shoving me out here. She's pimping me. You can have legal and financial implications if you're blacklisted. Blacklisted individuals may incur cost related to legal representation. Very interesting. Airfare for deportation and reapplication fees or visa for visas. All right. So what that's saying is, pro-life traveler. See, I remembered his name now. It's only 3 damn words. Ian's probably thinking, shit, boy, can't you remember his name? It's only 3 damn words. Pro-life traveler, or pro-Estonia traveler, has to get his own way out of the damn country, right? Or they'll take it out of his stuff. I don't know what they're going to do. But here it says you can be made to pay for your own. Here in America, we'll give you $1,000 to leave and buy you an airline ticket. Did you know that? Self-deportation is still happening. If you're illegal in America and you want to go home before we throw your butt in jail and send you home and you're illegal, just call up the government and say, hey, I'm ready to go. They'll give you an airline ticket, and once you're back in your country, they'll give you $1,000. So he has a lawyer. He has a legal representation that's helping him with this. That lawyer has to be compensated. Airfare, transportation. Ian, there is a channel called Our Philippine Journey. Yeah, OJ, OPJ, yeah. What about him? Yeah, I know that channel actually. Good channel, not a bad channel. You don't see my wife a whole lot on here either, which is probably why we don't grow. Yes, they're a good channel. They do a lot of live streams. I know the channel, know it pretty well. Been on it several times. Tina Marie is saying, hello, all of you handsome men. How are you? Especially that guy in that hat. Damn, he's fine looking. He's smart, intelligent, handsome, and he's drinking Lipton brisk iced tea. This live stream is brought to you by. Everybody say hello to Tina Marie over in Thailand, hanging out, eating Thai food. Birthday celebration tonight for who? You? Me? Who? Hello, Ian. Oh, it's Tina's birthday today. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Wow. Outstanding. Oh, by the way, thinking of that, not a birthday, I'm going to tell you one thing. You guys all know, oh my God, my brain is so screwed up from not having oxygen. You all know Jamie, Miss Avocado, right? Unbothered Avocado YouTube channel. She comes on our live streams, right? You all know her, right? So she's never had a baby shower. So in April, we're going to do a virtual baby shower. So I want you guys to know that I don't know how to do it, but we're going to plan a virtual baby shower for her since she's never had a baby shower in her life, all right? Just thought I'd throw out. Thinking of Tina Marie's birthday, happy birthday to you. Tina Marie turned, I don't know, maybe 42 today. No, hey, Mike, my friend, don't know that person. Jamie's a great person. She's been around a long time, following a lot of our channels. Unbothered Avocado is her channel name. She's not an active channel. She's a supporter. Good person. She's been around forever. But she's pregnated. Going to be giving birth in late April. And I was talking, she was on our baby shower live stream the other day, and I was joking about her baby shower. She kind of mentioned that she never had one in her life, and this is her third. and I know her situation, so I want to do a virtual baby shower for her. So when I do that, I'm hoping everybody will come and at least say, happy baby shower? I don't know, what do you say? Tina Marie, I Googled that place you are going to is like 15 minutes from home. Woo, Kuya, hey, number 12. Thumbs up, yes, we need them thumbs up. Thanks, David, add an extra couple of decades. Well, I know you told me one time what your age was, but I was going to give you credit for what you look like, not your real age. See how smooth that was? You see, gentlemen, you can learn a lesson from me about how to be smooth. See, I was going to give you credit for how you look, not your real age. See, that's smooth, man. That's why women find me irresistible, because I'm smooth. Pat's in the house. Everybody say hello to Pat. Pat, say hello to everybody. It's Tina Marie's birthday tonight. Pat, you better start singing happy birthday. All right, so I found something about the blacklist and how to find out if you're on the blacklist. Right now, currently, and maybe we ought to create a blacklist database. There's truly really not a website that you can go to or a web page to find out if you're on the blacklist or not. Ian, because Ian may be on there, but there's not one. But so it says there is no public accessible online resource to confirm the blacklist status. Individuals expecting or suspecting they are blacklisted should contact the nearest Philippine embassy or consulate within, or consult with an immigration attorney. Ian, just saying. But maybe we should create a database. We know who. We know pro-life travelers on it. You know, it'd be interesting to go back and find that and create one. We should create one. Hello, Pat. You're too kind, host. I know. What can I say? Ian, Fred, whoop, whoop, that's right. Pat says, hello, GTV. Woohoo, hello, everybody. Pat's in the house. Pat, is it snowing where you're at? Flora said it was snowing where she was. So I figured she's not that far from you, so it had to be snowing where you're at. Remedies for removal from the blacklist. Formal request. Individual can submit a motion for reconsideration to the Bureau of Immigration, the BI, detailing the reasons for blacklisting and providing support providing supporting documentation. That's really interesting. So they're going to have to figure out a lie they can tell immigration why they shouldn't be blacklisted or why they were wrongly blacklisted. Maybe he can write a letter and say, I promise not to call Filipinos monkeys anymore. I promise not to show minor children with their boobs hanging out. I don't know. Maybe that will work. Snowing here again, Pat says, Yeppers, GTV vlog is in the house. Sub and done, David, thank you. We appreciate you. We will be back to you too. And you, everybody in the chat, please check out their channel for me if you would. Thank you all for saying hello to GTV. Appreciate that. How are you tonight? Thank you for the thumbs up. What are your thoughts? Where are you from? What part of the world? Give me some info. Give me some meat on the bone. I sure don't miss the snow and cold weather, Pat. Oh my God. I know it's 32 degrees here. It's been windy as all boogers today. But I don't think that Arctic front that Pat and everybody's getting is going to get us like they said. The other day they were saying Miami, Florida was going to be 40 degrees. I don't think that's going to happen. Tina Marie says, Miss G. In some countries, he wouldn't be alive. Oh, I agree, Mike. I totally agree. In some countries, well, even in the Philippines, you gotta remember Elliot Eastman. Elliot Eastman is not alive, right? And we talked about Stinky Grandpa earlier in the day, right? Where he's too much of a coward to go out and raise hell with the Filipinos. He wants to raise it online with YouTube channels that nobody can come and beat him up for. If stupid grandpa was doing the shit that he does online in person to Filipinos, he would get his ass beat and he would probably disappear, right? So why this guy got lucky enough, maybe he was giving out enough money, I don't know. Big heart from GTV, thank you for that. Pat says, hello, Ian. Mike says, so David, I'm still thinking April would be decent weather for me to come visit the United States. I would agree, April's great weather. Usually all the bad weather's gone. A little rain, you know. But you know that, the snow, Illinois, everything, rain's gone, the snows are gone. April the 15th, I have a rule of thumb in my part of the country, central United States, South Central, not Los Angeles, but America, that if tax day, April the 15th, weather's gone. I remember Elliot he was. Ian says, so also if you are refused a visa 3 times, you are blacklisted for a certain amount of time before you're able to reapply. Well, yes, but you may still be denied, right? And they can deport you anytime your visa elapses. That's, you know, if you guys don't get your visa renewed in time, if you put a bug up somebody's butt at immigration or somewhere, they can deport you for that. And then you can request to come back in, and they can deny it or agree to it. Remedies for formal removal from the blacklist. How to get off the blacklist. Here's the way to get off the blacklist. And I want, what the hell's his name? Pro-life traveler to understand this. I can get you off the blacklist today. I can do it. Look at me, my eyeballs. I'm not lying to you. I can get you off that blacklist today. All I needed you to do is send me 50,000 USD and I'll get you off the blacklist, all right? PayPal is on my YouTube channel. 50 grand, you're off the PayPal list. I mean the PayPal list. You're on the PayPal list, but you're off the blacklist. Why do people mess with a good system, GTV? Mike, any updates on? No, none. No, I haven't seen anything in a long time. It's easy to renew visa, and it is, so why not do it? GTV says, hello, Maria, good to see you. So good to see ya. Now, and I've known a bunch of expats who did not renew. And over the years, I've had them reach out to me and say, hey, I need assistance in renewing. And so I would do some research for them. But I was always so damn confused. Why did you let it? I mean, it's so damn easy and cheap. Or if you can't afford to renew your visas in the Philippines, you don't need to be in the Philippines. Because you have no money. You need to figure out something else. GTV's vlog has 1,000 subscribers, 319 videos. Let me get back to my blacklist list. Thank you all for subscribing to her and to me. So, a formal request, individual can submit a motion for reconsideration to the BI. We went over that one. Last I hear about Elliot was they took him out to sea, dumped his body, and he already bled out. Yeah, that wasn't, yeah, we don't know. One of it was, stop to talk about Eastman real quick. Because I did some videos and did a lot of research. Nobody knows. 90% of the people there says, yeah, he was shot in the leg. That's pretty much all they can say. Yeah, that's probably what happened. They don't know if they threw him in the jungle or threw him in the ocean. He was not the body that washed up. He was not that. He's never been found and he won't ever be found. Because they don't have a lot of DNA sampling going on in the Philippines. Nobody's going to find a skeleton and DNA it in hopes of finding him out who he was. Sad story, but he acted like a fool. He did. He did bad. Waiting periods, depending on the reason for blacklisting, there may be specific waiting periods before a request for removal can be made. So depending on what you did, if you just screwed up your visa, then it's probably not a big deal. But if you sold drugs to little children and did bad things with them, well, you're probably never going to get back if you're not in prison. HTN is in the house. Henry's in the house. Pat says, yeah, it's a sad story. But he did this intentionally. Elliot Eastman was an idiot. He intentionally married a Muslim woman, went to the Philippines, refused to become Muslim in a Muslim community, acted a fool in a Muslim community, and then he disappeared. What can you say? You know, he put the Muslim community in public, and they didn't want that. Good to see you, Henry from Pat. Hey, Pat, Henry, hello, Mike. That's so scary, Mike. He wasn't blinded by love. Tita Marie, you're too nice. I don't think he was. I think he saw an opportunity, Eastman, to do something unique and different, to go live in a Muslim community as a non-Muslim white guy from a foreign country. I think he thought he was going to be a YouTube superstar because here he is living the non-Muslim, traditional, in the Philippines, married to a good-looking Muslim woman, right? No, I think his intentions was to do that. I don't think he fell in love and was stupid. I think he had the intentions. Because look, if he was just in love, he wouldn't have done a YouTube channel about the Muslim community that he was living in. He wouldn't have done it. Yeah, he tried to run some schemes, which isn't good. Also became a loan shark. Yep, hey, Mike. GTV, who was it? His name was Elliot Eastman, was his name. I think probably a year and a half ago, he disappeared there in the Philippines. And then tonight we were talking about the pro-life traveler and Tim K and a few others, creepy guys. We were talking about the creepy guys. So Elliot Eastman was a white guy. I don't remember where he was from. I think Illinois, maybe. I don't remember. But he disappeared. Literally, just disappeared. But he had problems, and he put it on the internet. So if he was blinded by love, he would have never done any of that, and he would have committed himself to a Muslim relationship. If he was in love with her, he would have converted. That's what I got to say. Don't do that. I respect my community, face of the earth, and people like me here. Do they now, Mike? Well, aren't you being bold? Mike's a member of the channel, by the way. Still talking about him. They never found him, and he was a fool. He knew something was wrong, and he didn't leave when he had the chance. That's right, he didn't. John says money changes people. He was seen as rich. That's right. He wanted people to see him as rich. You know, just like this idiot we're talking about tonight and Tim K, they abused the Philippine people so that they could be better than them, that they could live higher than them, that they can say, look at me, I'm something and you're nothing. And it will come, no matter where you live, America, the Philippines, Germany, Australia, I don't give a crap where you live. You can't do that for very long. Karma has a way of biting you in the ass. But money does change, and that's my question tonight for all of you YouTubers out there. What are you willing to do for clicks and views? Now, I point blankly said, I am more than willing to take my shirt off for clicks and views. The problem is, everybody leaves the damn live stream. So it doesn't seem to work very well. He didn't know something was wrong, didn't leave. No, he knew, but he thought he was smarter, just like this guy, you know, whatever his name is, and Tim K, and all, they all thought they were smarter than the community they lived in. You know, the kid that's being deported, he thought he was smarter than they are because he's not from the Philippines. You know, the Philippines is a third world country. They have shit of an education. Look at them. They're poor. They're washing their clothes in a creek. Nothing's going to happen to me in this poor shithole of a country. That's his thought. And that's why he said and did all the things that he did in the Philippines. Same thing with Eastman. Same thing with Tim K. Tim K made no bones about it. He point blankly said on numerous occasions he was better than the people around him. He did. Vi is getting her first AC unit right now. She's getting her first air conditioning unit. Nice. Nice. That's good. Hope it's a split air system. Pat agrees with me. Nice. Thank you, Pat. I don't see his channel anymore. Tim K. No, he sold his channel. He had a really big YouTube channel, 130 or 40,000. He had his little wife, Chrissy K, still has her channel, I think. But he married a 16-year-old girl, had a baby, all of that, had a YouTube channel. He's ex-military, so you got to respect him for being an ex-military. Tim K was the channel. But apparently there's this thing that if your channel is big enough, you can sell your channel and make a shitload of money because the data companies want the data. They want to go through and mine the data off of your channel. It's been in some bad places when I felt something wrong. I left very fast. Yes, Tim K was an American vlogger. That's correct, not blogger, but vlogger. 16-year-old girl, he bought it from mom and dad for $800 if I remember right. He had a video, he took it down, but he had a video early on where he's marrying the little girl and giving mom and dad like $800 USD. Because he wanted to marry a virgin, he said, not my words. He said this in his video. He picked, and she was a cute girl. He picked this little girl because he wanted to marry a virgin. Yeah, he's a piece of work. But he's back in America. You know, he made a lot of money in the Philippines. He has his disability from his military. They're financially fine. Trust me. Yeah, he's been gone for about maybe a year now. His channel's been inactive for over a year now because when you sell your channel, the data mining company takes it all. It's theirs. I looked up to see how much mine was worth, and I would have to pay them. So, there you go. Jimmy's back in the house. I guess no matter what age, we still can learn. Only after we get our head bashed into the wall. That's wisdom, that's right. To get your happy butt back off of the blacklist, you can seek legal assistance. It is advisable to seek help from an immigration lawyer to navigate the complexities of the removal process. I feel like I'm going blind. I look like I'm going blind. I feel like I'm going blind. All right. $16. She was 16, not 15, 16. My understanding was she was 16. I don't want to say something that I don't believe. I believe she was 16 years of age when he married her. Now, maybe he met her when she was 15. I don't know, but he said that early on when he made his YouTube channel. He made videos about that. Later on, he took them down. But he pimped her all through it because she has a nice smile, a cute little girl, and guys would super chat when she was sitting next to him. You know, like old dog new trick, even though baby May's ugly and old, you know, he pimps her, now she pimps others. It's just the way channels do it. Oh, so did I bash any Filipinos with a fly swatter during the party? No, luckily the baby shower went pretty decent. I'm going to give props that nobody stole anything. Didn't find anything missing as of yet. 2, they all followed the instructions of packing food at 8 p.m. Lorelai directed that. So they didn't pack early. So they all performed pretty well. Maybe I can ask you guys. I was offended by one thing. You know, after thinking about it, I was offended by, I am offended. I don't hold on to it, but I am offended by one thing that happened. Now, I did have some fun, and I lied to some of them. If you saw the video, the short I did about Filipinos will believe anything, I did lie to them about making chips, homemade chips, you know. So I had a little bit of fun, right? But there is something that I think I'm offended by. All right, Pat says right on. So I think they all did pretty good. The party went well. A lot of you guys came in and out and saw it. And we got a couple super chats, I think, for the baby, upcoming baby. By the way, we are going to do a baby shower for Jamie, Unbothered Avocado, in April, early April. I don't got it figured out, but just keep that on your radar. We got Scam T that says, almost 1 million pesos by a vlogger. Woohoo, we learned our lesson. We no longer share our blessings. That's right. Keep those blessings in your pocket and enjoy them yourself. Yes, I remember. Oh, we have another thing coming up, but it doesn't make me happy that's happening. But we'll talk about that a different day. I got a different thing I want to talk about later. What, Tita? Yes. Jimmy says, I saw that. I didn't appreciate you telling them I'm not. Well, I couldn't lie to them forever. I mean, come on. 8 inches. Come on. Come on. You know better than that. Mike says, what? Tita? Yeah, we've all been scammed and hustled one way, shape, or form by somebody somewhere. Now, we have, family that does it to us. So there you go. I mean, we even had family try to get $5,000 from Lorelei when I was in a coma. So not her family, my family. We've had enough of her family scamming us. But here in America, my niece, when I was in a coma, hit Lorelei up for $5,000 thinking I was going to die, and then she would never have to pay it back. Or that she just wouldn't pay it back, Luckily, Lorelei said, it ain't going to happen. Henry says, Bai is extremely excited about getting her brand new arm candy. Wow, I didn't know she swung that away. That's good, Brother Henry. Pat says, it's funny to me, but I don't understand. What don't you understand, Henry? I am here to explain anything and everything to everybody. Thank you all for the thumbs up. You haven't done that. So there is one thing that offends me. I think I'm offended. I don't know how to address the issue. And maybe it's just because I have different scruples than others. But would you like to hear what offended me about the baby shower? Can I tell you that? Somebody tell me, yeah, you want to hear what offended me, or I'll just not tell you. I don't want to give super chats or send Gcash. Yeah, don't send Gcash. There will be Manila to handle this situation. All right, yes. Well, I don't recommend I like super chats, don't get me wrong, but YouTube takes 30%. If you want to help somebody, if you're truly going to know them and help them, PayPal or something of that matter goes directly to them. Sorry to hear that. Big shout out. Mike says, I hope they pay the consequence for scamming. They don't care. Scammers don't care. Right? Hey, short-term victory, long-term disaster. You win the battle, you lose the war. That's how they look at it. They only care about the battle in front of them, which is hustling you. They don't care that they're going to go to hell. They're going to suffer the consequences. They don't care about that. Well, ask Craig. Craig's in Australia. He is upside down, Henry. He is upside down. I'm just telling you, Craig is upside down. Hell, he even lives in the land down under. So he has to be upside down. The water goes the other way down the toilet. Jimmy says, yeah, I know, David. You didn't get fed ice cream. Your eyes did, your nose did, your beard did. Oh, that was yogurt. No, that wasn't it, Jimmy. But look, what they said, I was trying to prove the point about how when you feed a baby, how they really act. A baby's not going to gobble that yogurt up. A baby's going to spit that shit everywhere. And I told them all to back up. If you watch the video slowly, I said, all right, all of you need to back up. Yeah, I got it all over my face. It was good for my beard, made it soft. Hello, Jimmy from GT Vlog. Mike says, damn, David. So that wasn't it. That didn't offend me. That was just fun and games. It's okay, Mike. We give because we can. Right. So if we lose it, we lose it. Lesson learned, no financial loss for us. It's not the money. We wanted him to be accountable. I agree, they're not going to, all right. And Maria, and I know you know this, but when we give somebody money or something, we just got to automatically know that it's never coming back. Hello, HTRN from GTV vlog. Sorry. GTV vlog. Hello, everybody. Jimmy says, hey, okay, do you want to know what the hell offended me or not? Damn, people. Torres Bob. I like your hat. Looks good on you. Thank you. We appreciate that. It's one of my favorite hats. I have roughly 23 favorite hats and 50 regular hats. I have over 200 tropical shirts. Today is a mild tropical shirt because I got a little bit of a blue in the background and blue in my hat. You always try to match your hat, your shirt, and your watch when you go out in public. Rule number 1, match hat, shirt, watch. And always wear short shorts. That way the girls will find you interesting. Okay, I know Bill Clinton lied. Did he? I didn't know he told the truth. We all know Bill Clinton's a slime ball. I met him here in Arkansas. He's a slime ball. We all know that. So what got you? See, finally. Damn, Henry, it took 4 hours to get somebody to ask. Well, now that you asked, I'll tell you. Is David living here in the Philippines? No, we're currently in the United States. We're in Arkansas. We're from Cebu. We've lived there. We have land there, but we're in the United States. And the wife likes it better. Oh yeah, we have Jollibee 5 hours. Oh no, that's a whole nother story. Jollibee is 5 hours away. That's why it's there. Because I got to drive 5 hours to get to Jollibee. And then I got to drive 5 hours back. 5 hours. Where the hell's that Jollibee at? Right there. So, yeah, it's a conversation piece so that I can bitch and complain about how far I got to take my wife and her friends to Jollibee. Just throw that out there. We like Jollibee. You know, it's okay in America. It's better in the Philippines. All right, so let me explain to you what offended me. I think and maybe it's because I have scruples and respect. One thing you might notice that you never see me doing live streams at other people's houses. I don't do that. If I get invited to Pat's house for a party, I'm not going to live stream unless Pat asks me to. Not going to do it. If I get invited to Henry's house for an event, I'm not going to presume it's okay for me to live stream and do what I want. It's not my house. It's not my event. I'm a guest. What I don't like is we have somebody in the community who never asked but thinks she can just TikTok away at my house. Now, there's times that they have a little gathering where that's what they're doing. But the baby shower was designed for the baby and the mommy, right? The mommy, baby, whatever. The impregnated female to be celebrated. And the husband, the dad, whatever. So the party was about them, right? I try to live stream it at my house, because it's my house, and I talked to mom and dad beforehand, and they wanted it live streamed because they had family in the Philippines watching the live stream. My house, my live stream, their blessing. We hosted the party. We paid for the party mostly. They wanted it live streamed because family in the Philippines are watching it. I was offended that the TikTok girl thought she could just do whatever the hell she wanted in my house without asking permission of mom and dad and or me, which is more important because I'm the owner of the house. And maybe that's just me because that's how I would do it. That's how I was raised. I was raised to ask permission in somebody else's property, no matter what it was. I was raised to ask, to be considerate, and to acknowledge that somebody else owns or belongs to this, and I'm a guest. I went to a Mason's event some months ago. A friend of mine got a 60-year pin, and he wanted me to record it. So I found the Grand Master of his lodge, and I went up and said, hey, he would like me to record this. Are you okay with this? Because this is your baby. And he said, absolutely, feel free. I just don't want you to record this one certain little area of our chapel. No problem. It's only polite, professional, decent to ask if it's okay to do that. So I'm offended by that. Tina says we have Jollibee in Canada. Well, good for you. I'm not driving to Canada. I have a question for you. What kind of music do you listen to and why? I listen to good music because I enjoy good music. Usually Southern rock, 80s, 70s, 60s, a little bit of 50s, classical, bluegrass. I listen to a lot of it. I like, it depends, truck driving music, depends on what mood I am in. GTV says, wow, I want to come to Canada someday. Come on, you'll want to leave. You'll come and turn around and go, holy crap, and butt farts. I didn't know it was this cold. We're going to take over Canada in a couple weeks. Get ready to freeze here, Miss G. Half the year is cold and dark. Nice walks. Most Canadians drive everywhere. No, that was rude to do without getting permission first. Yes. Yay, Tina Marie. So what do you guys think? Am I wrong to think it's kind of rude for you to come and try to TikTok at my house without permission at somebody at a special party that was nothing to do with them? They were just a guest. They were invited to participate as a guest at the baby shower. Not to TikTok, not to video, not to be a photographer, not to do anything, but just to show up and be a guest. So I told Lorelai, so that has offended me a little bit. Because I would never go to their house and do the same. Never. Never do it. So I don't know what you guys think. Now, I know she thinks she's a TikTok star, but it's kind of weird because she says that she's a holy roller, but yet she's dancing for money. So I don't get that. I'm really confused. This girl wouldn't come to a Halloween party because it's all Satanist, because she's too religious or too close to God, but yet she's willing to dance on the internet for money. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm confused. But that's different. That's besides the point. So there you go. That's what irritated me at the baby shower. But other than that, the baby shower was good. The food was good. You guys saw, if you saw the first part of the live stream at the baby shower, I was a little irritated because we were running behind and getting food prep, and I had a bunch of people coming up behind me asking for food to eat. And I still haven't got it all done because we weren't serving food until 5:30, even though people showed up at 5. So they all thought they could just come and graze and eat. And we're missing a bunch of pans and dishes. And I'm just like, holy shit and butt farts. This is irritating. Lorelai got mad and said, why are you so irritated? I said, because this shit needs to be done. Pat says, oh my, yay, Tita. Yep, GTV, you can go there. GTV, you can go there all you want. Canada's cold. Americans don't even go to Canada unless we want their oil and gas. Yeah. I mean, hell, Canadian whiskey is now, Crown Royal, which was made in Canada, is now being made in America. What are you going to do? And after we buy Greenland or take over Greenland, we definitely don't need to go to Canada. If we want to freeze ourselves, we can just go to Greenland. So I don't know. That's the only thing that irritated me. I just found that tacky and rude. Don't like it. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything about it except for bitch. I know they all watch my YouTube channel, all of these people. That's partly why they got the message not to pack food early anymore at this house, because I've said it's rules that you don't pack food at our parties until we tell you it's okay. Meaning everybody's going to eat food first, and they're going to eat all that they want before anybody takes anything home. It's unfortunate what bloggers do for money. How did people survive before social media? Well, Tita, I survived on the street corner. I just went out. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Well, I hate to say it, I guess I'm still not surviving on social media. I wish I was. It is interesting, right? What would this guy, pro-life traveler guy, what would have he done all this time if he couldn't make money hustling Filipino boobs? Real easy. They actually talked to one another and didn't do stupid stuff like make themselves look even stupider for the world to see. I agree. I do think social media is caused people to lower their standards, including me. Look, well, no, I take that back. I was going to say even me, because now if you give me $5 million, I'll take my shirt off for you. But hell, I would have took my shirt off for $1, back then too. So it really doesn't matter. Good evening. Tim's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How are you, Tim? Welcome in. Thank you for the thumbs up. I watched a Filipina in her 70s showing her feet with high heels. She had over 500. Yeah, crazy, right? And I do that, and I don't get any views. I put high heel shoes on, and nobody watches. Damn people. Tim saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Tim. GTV says those people are engaging to earn money from social media don't have a stable job. Well, that is their job, right? If that's their primary focus, selling their boobs or their ankles. Back in the Victorian days, if you showed your ankles, you were slutty. You were a bad, bad girl if you showed your wrists and ankles. Just saying. So that is their job. We know a lot of YouTubers that their job is to sucker, we talked about this earlier, to sucker men in and giving them super chats in hopes that they might see a nipple or something. I don't know. So, and if it works for them and they make money, hey, I would do it. So there you go. I have no scruples, apparently. Now, the bad thing is we talked about this. I wouldn't do what the traveler guy did. I mean, as I said, I've been in countries where I've been surprised by what I've seen in public while I've been making a video. But I don't call attention to the girl walking on the beach naked in Aruba and put her on video, I didn't call attention to the girl in the naked shower in Cebu out in public. You kind of go, oh crap, and look the other way. That gentleman prefers to talk about it and say, ooh, that girl has really no bra on and her headlights are showing and I can't stop looking. Okay, so what's a stable job? I've never figured that one out. Well, one where you get a paycheck. More than once? Stable job for me is if I get a paycheck more than once. Tim says, hello to you, Patrick. How are you to do? Pro Traveler messed. He messed up. He's home. He's going home to Estonia, where I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he gets a job, works at fast food in Estonia. Where is Estonia? Does anybody, for the bonus question of the night, you get a free topless picture of me if you can tell me where Estonia is. I don't even know where. Is it in Europe? GTV says, anyway, anyone can earn from social media and online job everywhere there are, as long as there is connectivity. Yes, I agree. You definitely, if you really want to make good money, you definitely got to make sure you have good internet. I mean, I know a lot of people that teach professionally online, and it's extremely important to have really good internet because you don't want to be in the middle of teaching English as a second language in a foreign nation remotely and your internet go out. You don't want to be dancing half naked in your shit. What the hell are the grass houses in the Philippines called? Man, it's horrible when I'm going to make a smart ass joke and I can't remember the terms. God dang it, whatever. And you don't have good internet. It's like even, in Iran right now, they've cut off the internet and they're killing everybody. But Elon Musk is trying to give them free Starlink so it doesn't cut off. Starlink apparently is saving the world. He gave it to several countries and disaster zones. Excuse me. I have third and fourth language, David. Nice. What languages do you speak? Making money is easy. Just get off your butt and find some work that I have been doing since I was 8 years old, Henry says. Yes. Nippa huts. Thank you, Tim. You're dancing half naked in your hippa hut. You got hippa. Oh my God. You need to have good internet, even in the province. Maria says, I watch LGBTQ parades with naked people here in Canada. Holy gross. We also have naked bike rallies for the rainbow people. All legal here. We celebrate Gay Pride 3 months during the summer. That's gross, Maria. Do you celebrate everybody else's pride for 3 months? I am. No offense against anybody about anything. I really believe that if you're going to celebrate anything, you got to celebrate everything. Please ask Kuya Fred. All right, so you're a friend of Kuya Fred. I know Fred. I usually don't stay up that late to watch his middle of the night live streams, because middle of the day for him, middle of the night for me. So that's good. Means you got some talent. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Maria says, celebrate straight people, pride at home. There you go. I mean, and like I said in my short video the other day about this, I made a short video that's on the internet, which you know, people probably won't like. But I keep trying to tell people, nobody gives a crap if you're gay or not. We don't need a rainbow flag. Nobody cares. If you just go to work, do your job, mind your business, enjoy your life, nobody cares. It's party time at Fred's. Yeah, Fred's up too late at night for me. You know? It's like I don't get to catch Mike very often because he's at the wrong time too. Fred's having a party. Is he passing out beer? You know? Pat, are you keeping up with Fred? It's part of normal life. Here, Ian says, what? Dancing naked in the streets, Ian? Being gay? What are you talking about? Yep, I never understood about a special parade because they were gay or whatever. So who cares? Personal business, not mine. Yep. So many lesbians, yeah. Well, no, yeah. DJ Fred. Yeah, but it's the same thing with anything. I really believe this. I'm a fair person. If you want to have, you should have Native American pride, black pride, white pride, Asian pride. You should treat everybody equal. Because if you do, then everybody is equal. When you point out one group over the other group, then it's not equality. You're not giving equality. You're not showing equality. They're not showing equality. That's part of the frustrating thing is they're so pissed off about their own sexuality that they got to bash everybody else. When they don't realize nobody else cares about their sexuality. I don't, you know, but they got to, I personally believe, now this will get me in trouble a lot, which I don't care. A lot of them don't have a clue what they are. They're just trying to find a group to belong to. It's like why a lot of people join the military, because they're kind of lost and they need something to cling to. It's why they join a gang. They're lost and they get sucked into or become a part of a family, a gang. Same thing. What about the Muslims? Same thing. You know, they got a right, but they got rights to be Muslim, but they don't got a right to impose their religious beliefs on anybody else. Just like Catholics don't have that right. Baptists don't have that right. You can celebrate yourself, but when you start trying to force other people to believe what you believe or to give you special privilege because of your beliefs, then you've undermined the whole system. Because if I got to give you special privileges, what? Why would I give anybody special privileges? We deserve equal privileges. Well, and Europe is going to pay the price. Europe is going to pay the ultimate price if they don't get it under control. The United States is working on it itself. You know, they passed Shiite law, can't be legal here. It's illegal to do Shiite law. English has to be the primary language of America. Tim says, sexual choice, religious choice, political choice is a personal matter. Don't force your beliefs on me or anybody else. I mean, are you so insecure? Here's what I look at it as. To me, it says they are so insecure about their beliefs that they got to convince other people that they're right. That's what it is. I tell Christian people that I know all the time, Quit trying to fix people and work on yourself. Because if you really believe the shit you're spewing, the shit you're talking, right, then you would be working on yourself. That's what it is. They're trying to convince themselves. And the only way they can do it is to make other people think it's right, so the other people will say, yes, you're right. You are right, which validates them, their insecurities about what their belief is. That's the psychology behind it. They don't really believe it. They're looking for other people to tell them it's okay so they can believe it. Well said, Tim. They're taking over Europe right now. I know, Ian. I've seen it. But you people in Europe have to either step up the plate or start buying the Quran. One of the two. Well, I would agree. And that's not right. But we can't see. And the difference is, in a lot of democratic countries, we believe in letting people do that. But a Muslim country has a totally different rule set. And we can't expect them to change their rules because of what other countries do. You know, it's just the way it is. It's bad to force me to change my beliefs. It is. But it's even worse, Tim, for me to try to convince you that I am right in my belief. Because I don't care if you change your belief, but I want you to echo that it's okay for me to identify as a frog who lives under a lily pad. As long as you validate me that I'm a frog living under the lily pad, well, then I'm good and you can go about your business, because that's what they're looking. They're looking for validation for something they don't believe. I get scared people when they start pushing the beliefs on me. In Europe, they call a Christmas tree an evergreen tree, as Muslims were protesting. I know, I saw that, Ian, and that's stupid. And look, if the individuals in Europe are willing to let that slide, then that's on them. But it's kind of like the deal in America. We've had this issue in America. We got communities where Muslims have told store owners, you will not sell pork. You will not do this. You will not do that. And the store owners have said, F you. Come and stop me. Well, we're going to boycott you. We're going to protest you. So that's why the state of Texas and other places have passed laws that they can't do that. It's interference with the business. They can be arrested for that. So you either stand for something or you fall for anything. And if you don't got the balls to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to call a Christmas tree that I've been calling a Christmas tree for all my life an evergreen just to make you happy. Right on. It is, yes. CEO to Farmer, how are you? Well said, mate. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for the thumbs up. You know? Yep, it's just the way it is. It's how I see it and feel. One reason I left the UK for the Philippines. I don't blame you. We are sliding back. You know, people are understanding that you can believe what you want to believe, but look, we're not going to allow you to destroy other people's lives because of your beliefs. You know, the Rainbow Coalition is getting knocked back. The Muslim Coalition is being knocked back. You know, everybody can live in harmony, but y'all need to just mind your own damn business and take care of your own business. Hello, Ian from CEO to the Farmer. Says, hello, Ian, how are you today? The problem in the UK is, one, it's in the UK. Most of the government officials across the country are Muslims. Yes, we're having that problem here. As you just mentioned, schools are forced not to serve